Steve Weinberger says Chris Bumstead needs thicker back, chest, and bigger arms for open, explains why Martin Fitzwater won Prague Pro. Weinberger laid out how Bumstead can improve as an open competitor, and shared why Martin Fitzwater earned gold at the Prague Pro. After Chris Bumstead took second place in the Open at the Prague Pro, talks of his future in the division continued to gain traction. In a recent YouTube video shared on November 21, 2024, head judge Steve Weinberger broke down what Kbum needs to thrive in the open class and explained why Martin Fitzwater defeated him in the Czech Republic. Shortly after winning his 6th Classic Physique Olympia title, Bumstead announced his retirement from the sport. However, it was short-lived. Just days after the 2024 Olympia triumph, he chose to jump into the deep end of the open class, declaring his entry for the Prague Pro. He exceeded expectations during his open debut, securing second place after a close battle with Martin Fitzwater, the 4th best bodybuilder in the world. While Kbum put a stamp on his retirement following the Prague Pro, talks of how he'd fare in the open class have raged on. Steve Weinberger explains why Martin Fitzwater won Prague Pro, reveals body parts Chris Bumstead needs to improve for future in open. According to the esteemed head judge, Fitzwater took home gold in Prague thanks to his muscle and shape. Martin won first. He was in better condition at the Olympia, I will tell you that, but he was in good enough condition to win this show. He had muscle. He has good shape. He had muscle. He could have been a little harder, honestly, and he won because of that. It was his shape and his muscle. Bumstead presented an amazing package, but Weinberger underlined that he didn't have enough muscle to win the show. We wouldn't have picked the best bodybuilder if we picked Bumstead. We would have picked a beautiful physique, an amazing physique, arguably one of the best physiques in the world including bodybuilding, but not a bodybuilder's physique. He does not have enough muscle in my opinion to be considered a bodybuilder. He has enough shape to be a bodybuilder but not enough muscle. Should Bumstead further pursue a career in the open, Weinberger says he needs a thicker back, chest, and bigger arms. If Chris had a thicker back, bigger arms, and a thicker chest, he could have won that show, but he didn't. And that's why he didn't win that show. He had the shape to win the show, but not enough muscle to win that show, and it's still a bodybuilding show, and that's why we have classic physique, and we have bodybuilding. He added that Kbum is done, but could make waves in the open if he took 6 months to add more muscle. He's still a classic physique bodybuilder. I'm sure in 6 months he could probably turn that around. I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. But he's done. This was a one and done, this was just for fun. If this was a serious show, if I was his friend, I would have given him the advice to take a year off and put more muscle on and maybe he could have one. But he didn't have enough muscle to win. He shared. Size is king in the men's open, and Weinberger admits that discrepancy held Bumstead back from success in Prague. Chris' lat spread, if you just looked at a lat spread, it was better than Martin's, but you look at the whole body, you look at the front thigh, you look at the shoulders, Chris' shoulders are not that big, you look at his arms, they're not that big, you look at Martin, big, he's thick and he's round. And that's bodybuilding. Had the Martian come in 10% softer, Weinberger believes Bumstead would have won. You can't hide the fact that Chris has small arms, great legs from the side, he could use a bigger chest and bigger arms, said Weinberger. Martin wasn't in his best shape, but he was still in good shape. If Martin would have been, let's say 10% softer, maybe Chris would have won. Although some have praised Bumstead's look as one of his best, like Jay Cutler, others weren't impressed with his physique. Bodybuilding veteran Lee Priest believes Bumstead wasn't that good as an open competitor, adding that fans looked at his physique using classic eyes. After shaking up the men's open division at a single contest, fans would love nothing more than to see Bumstead back in action. However, as of this writing, he appears content with his accomplishments as he settles into retirement.